Hello and welcome. My name is Brenda Mailer of Sea Bright Spirit. Today I would like to share with you a practice that I enjoy for my morning practice. Hopefully you might enjoy it as well. You can certainly do this any time of day as well, but I thought I would just invite you into what is often my morning practice. So for this practice today, it can be helpful if you have a set of blocks, if you have something to sit on for meditation as well, a cushion or a pillow or even a chair, and anything else that you might need, something for under your knees or things like that as well. And yeah, so let's just get started, okay? Come down onto your back and we'll start in Shavasana. So you can lie down with your feet separated along the mat. If it feels better for you, bring your feet flat, knees together. And I'm going to just invite you to place your hands on your belly. We're going to do a little bit of centering here as we lie on our backs. So just close your eyes and begin to connect with your breath. Feel your body relaxing against the floor. Bring your awareness to the sensation of your hands gently rising and falling as you breathe. As you connect to this rhythm of your breathing, not trying to force or change anything, but just noticing some of the quality of your breath today. Does it feel smooth and continuous, or is there any hesitation or resistance? The breath often reflecting a bit of the state of your mind. So just let your mind turn its attention inward. Through this moment or through your practice, I'm just going to let the breath naturally change and shift, open up, deepen. So just ground your awareness in the flow of your breath right now. As you exhale, just roll your head to one side. Notice how you feel in your neck. Inhale over to the other side and exhale. Just move the head a few times side to side. Connecting with your breath. Try not to feel like you need to lift the head. Just let it roll. Wherever it rolls to is fine. And then whenever you feel complete, just bring your head back to center. Make sure you feel somewhat even on both sides. Take your arms overhead. Let's do a big stretch and circle the wrists. Fingertips to toes, lengthening the body. And then bring the arms down, bring the feet flat on the floor. Let's take the right foot up into the air, hold on to the leg, and just circle the ankle. Spreading the toes, moving the foot in both directions. And then reaching through the heel a little bit, lengthening through that leg, maybe drawing it a little bit over your face. You can even press your leg a little bit into your hands there, just activating a little bit more through the back of the leg. And then let's just take the lower leg in some circles. So you're keeping your thigh steady and just circling that lower leg. Noticing the rotation inward and outward. Moving both directions, switching the circle. Right. And then sinking down into the hip, taking the whole thigh and moving the whole thigh around, warming up that hip joint. Letting it come across the center line of the body, finding a rotation that feels good for you, and switch directions again when you're ready. Good, and then let's draw that knee into your chest. Stretch your left leg out along the floor. Just take a few deep breaths into the back of the hip. And then place that foot on the floor. Let's take the left foot up into the air. You might notice how there's some warmth in your right hip there. Take the left foot up and circle the ankle. Taking care of the joints in the body. Spread the toes a little bit. Move both ways. And then lengthening through that leg, reaching through the heel and just drawing the leg a little bit over your face, maybe pressing the leg gently into the hands, activating through the back of the leg. Take a couple of smooth breaths here. Relaxing through the shoulders. And then keeping the thigh steady, take just the lower leg in circles. And moving both directions. And then transitioning down into your hip joint, moving the whole thigh around, warming up that hip joint. Move the other direction when you're ready. Noticing how that feels, connecting with your breath. And then when that feels complete, draw that knee into your chest, stretch your right leg out along the floor, and take a few deep breaths into the back of the hip. And then place that foot down. Bring both feet flat. Let's roll over to your side and come up to all fours. Now placing your hands on your mat, make sure that your wrists are pointing towards the edge of your mat. So you're grounding through the whole hand. You're not leaning into either side of the hand. And the wrists are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. Let's start by just warming up the right shoulder a little bit. Bring your hand to your shoulder and like a wing, just take that arm around and warm up that shoulder joint. Connect with your breath and switch directions when you're ready. And then place that hand down. We'll do the same on the other side. Take the left hand to the shoulder, rotating through the shoulder joint. Switching directions. And then placing that hand down. Now let's wake up the spine. So starting with a little cat and cow here. So as you inhale, you're going to lift your tailbone, then drop your belly, broaden the chest, and lift through the crown. As you exhale, curl your pelvis in, draw the thighs together. round to the back as you draw the belly in and release the head forward, rounding into cat. Inhale, tailbone, belly, broaden the chest and the crown. Exhale, curling that pelvis in, rounding to the back, releasing the head forward. And just move with your breath here, noticing how this feels through the torso. Make sure you're not locking your elbows. Let's do one more with your breath. And come back to center. Take the knees wide, sink your hips back into child's pose. Reach your arms forward and ground down through the hands and see if you can feel like your insides of your elbows are kind of rotating upward towards the ceiling. Release your head to the floor, take a few deep breaths. Maybe if you need to place your head on a block, that's okay too. And inhale, bring yourself up and over top of your wrist. Bring your knees back together, broaden through your chest, and just come into a high plank for a moment. Use your whole arms, make sure you're not locking your elbows, core is strong. Hold for a breath or two. And then curl your toes under, lift your hips up and come into downward dog. Pedal out the feet, open up the backs of the legs. Feel like you're lifting up a little bit through your tailbone. Still rotating those inner elbows together and towards the ceiling, opening up the shoulder blades. And just hold here for a breath or two. Grounding through the whole hand. Now from here, you can just drop your left knee to the floor, step the right foot forward, or maybe you'll take your right leg up and back, holding it up there for a moment, lengthening through the heel, through the leg, and then stepping that foot through. Drop the left knee to the floor. Grab your blocks if you have them handy there. If you don't, just bring your hands to your knee. Make sure that your ankle's underneath your knee. Back toes can be curled under or stretched out behind you. And just lean forward with your hips, but press into the floor and lift upward. Feel into the back of the right hip, the front of the left hip. And then with your breath, we're just going to move back into monkey. So just stretching out the back of that right leg, exhale forward. You just move with your breath here a few times. Noticing how each time the leg lengthens a bit. And then come back and hold for a breath or two. Folding over top of the thigh, getting a nice stretch down the back of that leg. Toes are curled back. Good. And then come forward, ground down to that front foot. Curl the back toes under if you want. Come into a high lunge. You can always stay in low lunge if you prefer. Inhale, take the arms up. Make sure you're really steady through the legs. Find a gazing point that feels comfortable. Tune into your breath. And then let's just do a couple of circles of the arms. Exhale, take the arms down. Inhale, cross them in front. Only if this feels okay for your balance. And then hold again. Inhale, little back bend. Exhale, bring the hands down to the blocks. Now, if you're in low lunge, curl your back toes under and come up into high lunge. We're going to come forward into a warrior three. So bring the blocks forward, bring your weight up onto your right foot, reach your left foot up behind you. You can hold it here. You can take your right arm out to the side, or you can try balancing if you want. Just meet yourself where you're at. Connect with your breath, keep it flowing smoothly and deeply. Trying to keep the hips and shoulders somewhat square to the floor, standing leg is bent. All right, inhale, take the hands back down, reach that back foot back, come back to that high lunge. Now you're going to drop your heel to the side, okay? Bring yourself up, place your hand on your knee to help you, and you're going to line yourself up for warrior two. Take the arms out to the side. Inhale, straighten that leg, and exhale, bend in. And just make sure that knee is going straight towards your toes. Just move here a few times. And then come down and hold. Keep the legs active, the lower belly's active. Nice deep breath. Then turn your right palm up. Take that arm up into the air. Lengthen through that side. Exhale, come back to warrior two. Let's do that a couple times. Inhale up, opening up that side body. Exhale back. This time holding. And then inhale here. Exhale, bring your forearm down onto your thigh for side angle. Bring your left hand into your lower back. Round through that back foot and rotate the left shoulder towards the ceiling. From here, you can take that left arm straight up in the air or reach it overhead for side angle. And just hold there, keep the legs steady, the lower belly drawing in, extending through that left side of your body. You now press into your right foot, come all the way up. You can take that right arm back up again, lengthen through that side. Inhale, and as you exhale, reach your arm out over top of that leg. Keep extending through this side. Bring your hand down to your shin, left hand in the lower back, and again, rotating. This time focusing a little bit more on the length on the back of the leg, maybe a little bit of a stretch through the side of the hip. Rotating through the shoulder, take that arm up for triangle. Take a few deep breaths here. From here, you're going to inhale, you're going to exhale, take your arm forward and come down to the blocks. Curl back onto that back toe. Keep your front knee a little bit bent. Folding over the front leg for a moment, just feeling into the back of that right hip. Making sure you feel stable. Get a nice stretch through the outside of that leg. Bend the knee as much as you need to. Good, and then bring yourself up so you have a bit of a flat back. Left hand on the block. You might adjust the height, whatever works for you, okay? And then inhale and open that right arm up towards the sides. You're twisting in the opposite direction. Exhale, you can come down, and inhale, twist open. Make sure that you're got a little bit of a bent knee through that right knee. Exhale, come down, and one more time, come up and hold. Squeeze the inner thighs together, lengthen through the spine. Again, that right knee can be as bent as you need it to be. And try and bring the weight a little bit into your feet if you're really leaning into that block. Inhale, exhale, bring that hand down. Set your blocks to the side. Bring that leg back. Come into a plank pose. Perhaps dropping to the knees. We're going to do a few little chaturanga push-ups here. So you want your elbows going straight back. You want your wrists under your shoulders, core is tight. Exhale, just coming down and up as many times as it works for you, okay? Doesn't have to be a big movement. Right. And then maybe you'll take a little child's pose, or maybe you'll come into downward dog, whatever feels best for you. Just gonna switch sides here. Take a resting breath. If you're in child's pose, you might transition back into downward dog if you choose. And then you can take your left leg up if you wish first, or maybe just drop that right knee to the floor. Come into low lunge. Checking in with the feet, noticing how the feet are placed. Leaning the hips forward a little bit, lengthening through the crown. Connecting with your breath. Inhale, taking the hips back, opening and lengthening down the back of that left leg. Moving with your breath. Come back and hold when you feel ready, curling the toes back. And then inhale, coming back forward. You can stay in low lunge, you can curl the toes under for high lunge. Steady yourself, bring your hands to your thigh, draw the low belly in, feel the support of your legs. Take the arms up, find a comfortable gaze, steady, connect with your breath. Inhale, as you exhale, take the arms down and just do a couple circles, crossing the arms in front. Come back and hold. Now inhale, little back bend. Exhale, bring the hands back down to the blocks. Now if you're in low lunge, curl your back toe under for high lunge. We're going to come into that warrior three. So bring the blocks forward about a foot in front of you. Bring your weight into your left leg. Take your right leg straight up and back. Hips squaring to the floor. Standing leg is bent. Again, you can take your left arm out to the side if you want for a semi-balance, or maybe try both arms for a full balance. Just focus on your breath. Meet yourself where you're at. Whenever you need to, take the hands down, take the foot down, and step that foot back. And from here, you're going to just drop that back heel down. Okay, bring your left hand to your knee, come up. Make sure you're on a balance beam. Come into warrior two. Relax through the shoulders. Inhale, straighten that left leg. Exhale, bend back in, and just take a few moments to just move with your breath here. Noticing how your inner thighs feel, how you're finding stability through your legs. Come down and hold when you're ready. Turn the left palm up and let's just move that arm up with the breath a few times. Reverse warrior. Come back to warrior two. Opening up that left side. Come up and hold. Back of the neck is nice and long, opening that left side. Inhale. Exhale, take the forearm or the hand down to that thigh, coming into side angle, right hand in the lower back, grounding through that right foot, lengthening through the body, twisting a little bit open through the navel center. And then you can take that right arm straight up or into side angle. Hold and breathe. Good. Inhale, press into that left foot. Slowly come up. Good. Take the left arm up for the reverse. And then exhale, take that arm out over top of the left leg. Lengthen through that left side. Check in with the back of the left leg. Bring the forearm down to the shin. Draw the low belly in. Steady through the legs, finding extension through your spine. And then if it feels right, take that right arm up. Triangle pose. Let each breath kind of modify your body, looking for stability and ease. Breath deep and smooth. Now this time, inhale, bend the knee, rise up. Turn your toes towards the long edge of your mat. Bring your hands to your hips. We're going to do a forward bend. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend the knees. Come forward into a flat back. As you're ready, exhale, come forward. Bring the hands down, the legs to the floor. Grab a block if you need to. Releasing the crown, releasing through the spine. Just hold here and breathe. Maybe release the neck a little bit. Play a bit with your balance, bringing a bit into your toes if you really notice yourself sinking into your heels. How does your body feel? Knees have a bend to them. Make sure that the knees aren't straight. Deep inhale, long exhale. And bring your hands back to your hips. Inhale, come up into that flat back. Just hold here for a moment. Knees are bent. And then keep that flat back and rise all the way back up to standing. Turn your left toes towards the short end of the mat. And then bring your right arm around to the blocks. Right heel comes up back off the floor. And from here, we're just going to fold forward over that left leg. You shouldn't feel like you're on a balance beam. You should feel like you're kind of standing on two little ski tracks. And then inhale, come up to a flat back. You're going to bring that left block to a height that feels good for you, where you can bring it under your shoulder. And then you're going to take your right hand on the block underneath the shoulder. Take your left arm and open it up as we reverse our twist. Exhale, come down and just move with your breath a few times. Doesn't matter how high that arm comes up or how much you twist here. Come up and hold when you're ready and play a little bit with your weight. You can draw your inner thighs together. And just squeezing there, bending that left knee as much as it needs to be. Nice stretch down the back of that hip, down that leg, deep breath. Exhale, bring the hand down. Good. Set the blocks to the side. Bring that leg back. Let's come back into our plank. Okay. Broadening through the chest, core is steady. Do a few little push-ups. Meet yourself where you're at. Try not to lock the elbows. Keep the arms strong as you come up. Elbows going straight back. And then eventually, just lower yourself all the way down to the floor. Let's bring the elbows underneath the shoulders. We're going to do a little plank here. Bring our core into action. Curl the toes under or just use your knees. Hands can be flat in front of you or bring your hands together. Just going to hold and breathe. Drop the knees as often as you need to. Try again. Just honor your energy level today. Keep the breath flowing smoothly. Whenever you feel like you're complete, just bring your hips down to the floor, stack your forearms, separate your feet and come into crocodile pose. Take a few resting breaths, just letting the resistance of the floor lengthen out those exhales. All right, when you're ready, prop yourself up again a bit with your elbows. Now, if you can't reach your foot, just maybe grab a strap or a belt. Okay, you're going to draw your right foot in towards your glute. Then you're going to reach back and grab onto that foot if you can, drawing it inward. You can keep yourself propped up here, or you can lean forward a little bit. Whatever feels good to get a nice stretch through the front of your quad and your hip flexor. Keep the inner thighs together, squeeze the glutes. Focus on your breath. And deep in that hip. Feel like you're pressing the pelvis to the floor. You can maybe press the foot into the hand and lift the leg a little bit. Or just keep it down at the floor. A couple more breaths. And then slowly release the hand. Take that knee around in a few little circles just to release the knee. And then let's do the other side. So prop yourself up on your right elbow. Draw that left heel in towards your glute. Maybe just moving it in a few times, engaging through the hamstring. Then when you're ready, you can reach back and grab the foot. Find a posture for your upper body. So you feel a nice stretch through the front of that hip. Squeeze the glutes, the inner thighs touching. One side might feel very different than the other. Then you can play with pressing the foot into the hand, maybe lifting the knee a little bit off the floor, then coming back down again. Creates different engagement. Use the resistance of the floor with the belly. to keep that breath smooth and deep. Notice if there's little fluctuations in the breath, it's okay. Just support yourself in the ways you need. And when it feels right for you, release the foot, do a few little circles with the knee, both ways. Good. Let's roll over onto your back. And bring your feet flat on the floor, lengthen out through the spine. Let's just do a few little bridge movements here. You can keep your arms alongside your body, or you can take them up overhead as you lift your hips. If you want, place a block between your thighs. Keep your inner thighs active. Ground through the feet. Inhale up. Exhale back. Just move with your breath. Keep squeezing the blocks, squeezing the glutes, engaging through the back of the body. And if you want, hold for a breath or two. You can keep the arms overhead, you can bring them back down. Keep pressing the feet to the floor, engaging through the back of the body. Keep that block steady between the thighs. And then when you're ready, just slowly release the hips back to the floor. Set the block to the side. Let's come into a twist. Take the arms a little bit wide. Lift up your hips, shift them over to the right side of your mat. You can take both knees to the left. You can stretch your left leg out and just draw your right knee across, whatever works for you. Taking a few deep breaths. Into that side body, into the hip. Noticing how the body just naturally twists. And then inhale, bring your knees back to, or your knee back to center, your knees back to center. Realign your hips with your shoulders. Feel your spine lengthen out along the floor. And then let's do the other side. Lift the hips, shift them over to the left side of the mat. Do the same with your legs as you did on the other side. Tune into your breath, maybe close your eyes. Feel your body. Inhale, bring your knees back to center. And realign your hips with your shoulders. Draw your knees into your chest now and just rock gently over your back. Take both legs up into the air, reaching through the heels, just noticing how that feels there. Good. Drawing your knees into your chest again. And feet down to the floor. Grabbing your block, placing it underneath your hips. In a comfortable spot, just take the legs straight up again, making sure that there's no discomfort on the low back. If you have a bolster, that could be nice too. And just leave the legs up in the air as you rest here for a few moments. Close your eyes, just be in your body. Notice the sensations. Notice your breath. Legs just balancing over top of the hips, not drawing over the face. And slowly draw your knees back into your chest, bring your feet down to the floor. Lift your hips and remove the block. And then just stretch your legs out. If it feels good, maybe roll your knees a little bit side to side, release through the spine. And then find your way into Shavasana. If you have a bolster or something, put under your knees or put your blocks under your knees, grab something for your head, maybe a blanket if that feels good. Just rest here for a few moments. Notice the flow of your breath. Relaxing your face, the space between your eyebrows. Your gaze downward and inward. Relax your jaw. Let your head feel heavy as you relax your muscles of your neck, your shoulder blades, your shoulder joints. The arms heavy through your elbows and your wrists, the hands, fingers soft. Feel your upper back rounding with the floor, releasing, settling in. Heart space open. The belly soft with breath, rising and falling. Feel your whole torso relax, all the way down into your hips, the sacrum, the tailbone, the hip cradle, all supported. Relax the hip joints, let your thighs soften, feel heavy. Your knees, your calves, your heels. Relax your feet and your toes. Just feel yourself relaxing. The breath moving effortlessly. Quiet stillness within. Steadiness of the mind, letting thoughts just drift by. Feel your body resting, receiving, and integrating your practice. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, reawakening your body. Take a deep breath. Maybe your body wants to stretch, or maybe you draw your knees into your chest. Just follow your intuition. And roll over to your side. Just take a moment to rest there on your side. Supporting your head, noticing how you're feeling. And then bringing your hands to the floor, slowly press yourself up. Keeping your attention somewhat inward, grabbing your cushion or your chair, just finding a comfortable seat for a few minutes of meditation. Rest your hands on your thighs, lift up a little bit through your crown. Make sure you feel steady, grounding through your sit bones. Maybe release a sigh, and then come back to nostril breathing. Focusing your attention inward on the flow of your breath. Feeling the cool air drawing in, the warm air flowing out. So have the intention of being present with yourself, letting thoughts come and go. And as you inhale in your mind, repeating the sound so. As you exhale, the sound hum. Letting the mantra flow with the breath guiding the mantra in your mind. Releasing thoughts as they come in. Just keeping a centered focus, tuning in with yourself, here and now. Whenever you're ready, release the mantra. Still focus on your breath, feeling that connection with yourself. Noticing all that you've cultivated through your practice today, mind, body, and spirit. And bring your hands into your heart and take a moment of gratitude, bowing to yourself for taking this time for you, cultivating your well-being. Rubbing your palms together, creating some warmth there, and placing your palms over your eyes. And just take a moment to open your eyes first to your palms. Bridging your inner world with your outer world, washing your face, and bringing your hands into your heart. Thanking mind, body, and spirit for this practice today, and I thank you for sharing yours. If you enjoyed this practice, I invite you to subscribe to my channel, like and share this practice for others. And I hope to have you here and joining me once again. So have a beautiful day, wherever you are, however you are. I hope this serves you well. Take care.